It is October 22 and I am at Red Rock Park. It is run by the city of Gallup. So it's got like rodeo grounds and I think a convention center and a campground here. Although I'm not staying at the campground because it costs $30 a night and that's just too much. Anyways, I'm doing the Church Rock Trail. There's two trails here and the first one is Church Rock that I'm gonna do. So I am very excited because I can hardly wait to show you what's in front of me. Isn't that cool? This place is aptly named, lots of red rocks around. I have a bit of a story to tell you. I met a lady at church who invited me to stay the night at her house, and so I did. And it was lovely to have a real bed to sleep on. And then the next day we got talking and she likes to play tennis and I love tennis. So we decided to meet up and in Gallup and play tennis in the evening, which we did. She brought her friend along too and they wanted to do some shopping because from her place to Gallup is about 30 miles. So she wanted to make the most of it. They're both teachers on a reservation. So we met, played tennis. Her friend wanted to treat us for supper. And I don't usually eat suppers. I don't eat suppers because I have nightmares. If I do sleep, I have nightmares. But usually I don't fall asleep very easily with a full stomach. So I tried to get out of it, but they insisted, they really wanted me. So I thought I'd better be cordial and eat with them. And it was a salad bar, so I figured a salad would be easy enough to get down. Well, let me just make a long story short. That night was one of the most miserable nights in a long time, ever since my kidney stone attack. Oh, I was up every half an hour just vomiting like crazy, and I'll spare you the details. So I've been kind of wiped for the past couple of days. I am so grateful because I was wanting to stay at a truck stop that night after eating, but they insisted that I go back to her place, which I am so glad that I did, even though it was a 30-mile extra drive. But can you imagine if I had to go into the truck stop all the time? Or worse yet, if I was in a campground with just a vault toilet. Anyways, I'm sorry if I'm churning your stomach here, but I have had it miserable. So I am gonna start easy. This is just a 2-mile hike apparently. And we'll see if I can do this enough because I haven't eaten much. Anyways, enough of my sob story. I just thought I would put that down for the records. And tell me, have you ever gotten food poisoning? I don't want to say the restaurant we ate at because they didn't get sick, but I know you can get sick when other people don't get sick. Anyways, tell me your story of food poisoning if you've ever had it. That was the longest stretch of nausea I have ever endured. Anyways, thanks for listening to my sob story. Now let's get on with the trail. Here's a map for this trail. So you can go, there's a connector trail between Pyramid and Church Rock. So maybe I'll do that. I'll see how much strength I have if I can do the whole loop. So it would be probably 4 or 5 miles total. We'll see. I mean, this is definitely my kind of hike. This is so spectacular. We've been talking a lot lately about David and Saul, but during this time, Samuel has been alive and doing his thing in Israel, being judge and priest and prophet, but he had mostly faded out of the picture. Until now, Samuel died, and the Israelites gathered together and lamented for him, and they buried him at his home in Ramah. Huh. They put this cairn here, but there's no way. Well, I guess, oh, here's some steps. But there's a path as well. Yeah, I just took the pathway. It's way easier. quite a few steps. No creatures down there, that's good. Yeah, this is pretty neat. They carved out a path on the side of this rock face, I guess. I'm sure the death of Samuel was regarded as an irreparable loss by the nation of Israel. A great and good prophet and an eminent judge had fallen in death, and the grief of the people was deep and heartfelt. From his youth up, Samuel had walked before Israel with the integrity of his heart. Although Saul had been the acknowledged king, Samuel has wielded a more powerful influence because his record was one of faithfulness, obedience, and devotion. We read that he judged Israel all the days of his life. Whoa, I have to pause the story just to look at this that I'm going around now. This is a very interesting trail today. You do have to kind of be brave to do it, I would say, because there's like a drop off, really steep. Kind of fun. I'll bet that as the people contrasted the course of Saul with that of Samuel, they saw the mistake they had made in desiring a king, that they might not be different from the nations around them. They saw how their king was exerting his widespread influence with irreligion and godlessness, so of course they mourned that Samuel, the prophet of the Lord, was dead. The nation had lost the founder and president of its sacred schools, but that was not all. He was the person the people went to with their great troubles. They lost the one who had constantly interceded with God in behalf of the best interests of its people. The people felt now that God was forsaking them. The king seemed little less than a madman. Justice was perverted and order was turned to confusion. Gotta do those steps. It was when the nation was racked with internal strife that the calm, God-fearing counsel of Samuel seemed to be most needed, that God gave his aged servant rest. The people knew that Samuel had such a close connection with heaven that he seemed to bind all Israel to the throne of Jehovah. This is just really so cool. This is the steep part section though. Oh man, look at these steps in this rock face. And there's more. Isn't this just grand? Thank you to whoever carved these steps. Huge gratefulness. It was Samuel who had taught the people to love and obey God. But now that he was dead, they must have felt that they were left to the mercies of a king who had joined his forces with Satan and who would divorce the people from God and heaven. This trail is so well marked, I thought, until I started getting suspicion. So I opened all trails like I should have done in the beginning, but I'm too stubborn because I want to see if the trail signs can get you there. But I'm having to backtrack. I was starting out on the connector trail to the Pyramid Peak and I don't want to do that yet. I want to finish the Church Rock Trail. So I've exerted more energy than necessary. I should have followed these cairns instead of those other cairns. The post that I was following said Church Rock Trail, but I was just going in the wrong direction. I probably walked half a mile extra, so that's not too bad. David could not be present at the burial of Samuel, but I'm sure he must have mourned for him as deeply and tenderly as a faithful son mourns for a devoted father. He knew that Samuel's death had broken another bond of restraint from the actions of Saul, and he felt less secure than when the prophet lived. Okay, so I just came from there, and this is where I went before, so I've made the loop. And somehow I thought it was going to be a loop around Church Rock, but I was mistaken. So since that was the case, hindsight, I should have just kept on to Pyramid Peak. But I thought we were going around the Church Rock. Anyways, the healing hiker needs more healing before she can go on, so she's going back. And the healing hiker rating for this Church Rock Trail is a 4 out of 5, just because it was annoying that I had to use all trails to navigate. And I met 4 other people, which isn't horrendous. And it's starting to rain now, oh no. So yeah, let's get back. I kept thinking it looked like it was going to rain, but there was no rain in the forecast, so silly me. While the attention of Saul was engaged for the mourning of Samuel, David took this opportunity to seek a place of greater security. So he fled to the wilderness of Paran. It was here that he composed the 120th and 121st Psalms. In these desolate wilds, realizing that the prophet was dead and the king was his enemy, he sang, "In my distress I cried to the Lord, and he heard me. Deliver my soul, O Lord, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. What shall be given to you, or what shall be done to you, you false tongue? Sharp arrows of the warrior with coals of the broom tree. Woe is me that I dwell in Meshech, that I dwell among the tents of Kedar. My soul has dwelt too long with one who hates peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. I will lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence comes my help. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve you from all evil. He shall preserve your soul. The Lord shall preserve your going out and your coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore."